Recording in progress.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to yet another awesome session from Mindful Living. How many of you would like to be unstoppable and invincible? Please type you and I in the chat box. Unstoppable and invincible. Please type you and I in the chat box. Thank you, Satyaprakash. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, friends. I really appreciate your taking out the time and joining the masterclass on becoming a trailblazing leader. This shows your intention to improve your leadership quotient and improve the standard of living for yourself and for your family. The session today is for anyone who is working in the corporate sector or is a business owner who wants to increase their income and become more successful. If you're someone who has got great potential, but your income and success is not happening as per your market value, and if you are committed to doing something about it, this webinar is definitely for you. If you are committed to improve your standard of living, please type C in the chat box. If you want to become more successful and increase your income, please type C in the chat box. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Satyaprakash. Thank you, Manoj. Friends, if you're committed, only then this webinar will work for you. This is a webinar on leadership. I urge you all to be actively engaged. And I promise you in the next 90 minutes, I will share with you how to develop your expertise to get what you want, even if you have been stuck at the same level for many years. How you can become a courageous and confident leader in any situation, especially in meetings with upper management and clients, even if you think you are an introvert, and how to increase your income by 30 to 60%, even if your current company or market does not have growth opportunities. We will see all of this. Friends, my name is Ashish Kumar, and I'm the founder and CEO of Mindful Living. I started Mindful Living in 2018, and prior to that, I worked in the corporate sector in senior management roles for over 25 years with organizations like Xerox, Tata AIA, Futures Rally, Marsh, HCL, and Dabur Group. During the years of my working in the corporate sector, I saw how stressed the employees are and the toll that the stress is taking on their health, happiness, and well-being. Being a certified mindfulness teacher myself, I thought that the message of living mindfully needs to be taken to the corporate sector, and with a mission to impact the lives of 1 million working professionals, I started Mindful Living in 2018. In the last 4 years, we have conducted over 300 sessions and trained over 10,000 employees in leading organizations that include Aditya Birla Group, Tata Group, IBM, EXL, Swiggy, Signify, Schneider, Hero Group, Kotak Life, SDFC Life, and many more. All our sessions are guaranteed to improve the quality of life, including the one that we are doing today. We conduct these sessions as a part of the Mindful Living Community Initiative, which started in April 2020 when the first lockdown happened. Few of my friends reached out to me and requested me to conduct sessions for them over a weekend. And I conducted a session on mindfulness for 10 of my close friends. One thing led to the other, and today we have become a community of over 3,000 people who connect regularly on discussing about application of mindful living to live consciously in our daily lives. If you would like to be a part of this vibrant community, please click on the link that we are sharing in the chat and join this community. It's a very safe WhatsApp group where we stay away from any religious or political discussions. It is all about how to become mindful and live consciously. I'm an MBA, a cost accountant, and fellow of Life Management Institute from USA. I'm also a certified trainer, and I have got my certification from Blair Singer, who is a friend of Robert Kiyosaki, author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I have got my coaching certification from Marshall Goldsmith, who is also the author of the book What Got You Here Won't Get You There. I'm a coach and mentor to students in IIM Nagpur and have been invited by IIM Nagpur to speak to the students and industry leaders on mindfulness and peak performance. So friends, that's in brief about me. And I'm sharing this to give you the comfort that the next 60 to 75 odd minutes that you will be spending here or investing here will be worth its while. I would urge you to keep your camera on so that we can have a lively interaction. It's a small group. This is a conscious call to invite people who want to be leaders. And leadership is not titular. Some people think only if you're the prime minister or CEO, you become a leader. Anybody who chooses to become a leader can become a leader. We all can start by leading ourselves, and that's how this session will start today. I really welcome you once again with all my heart to this session. And it is my promise to you that if you stick with me, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process to grow in your career and business, get recognition, and at least double your income. All this may seem far-fetched to you or scary or impossible at this moment, but as you go through this entire presentation and hear stories of my client, you will realize that this path with reach to high income and position is not only possible, it can also be simple. And all of this can be achieved without working long hours and instead creating a joyful, harmonious environment for you, your family, and everyone around you. How awesome would that be, friend? If you think this is going to be awesome, please type A in the chat box. Thank you, friends. It's my promise to you. Let's stay focused. Turn off all your gadgets, put them on silent or switch them off. Grab a notepad. I would urge you to take notes as I speak. We'll be sharing a recording later, but I also want you to do some exercises as we go through the session so that you make the most of the session today. Does this friend sound like someone like you? If it sounds somebody, if you resonate with what I'm sharing, please type me in the chat box. Do you find it hard to speak up, share your ideas, stand up for yourself and your opinions, and you feel stressed out in meetings? Are you experiencing deep pain inside you because you are not where you should have been and your true potential is not being used and you feel time is running out? Do you see all this costing you emotionally in personal life and taking a toll on your relationships? You get angry, frustrated, irritated, and irrespective of how hard you work, how many hours you work, you're not getting anywhere, and there is a sense of overwhelm. You feel stuck at the same level for many years. People like you are getting more success and you are earning drastically less compared to the people who have half your experience. If any of this resonates with you, please be honest and type me in the chat box. And I would like to share the good news with you that the real challenge is that you haven't made the shifts. Albert Einstein says that we cannot solve the problems using the same level of thinking when we created them. To solve the problems, we need to raise our level of thinking. And when we raise our level of thinking, the solutions happen. And once you make this shift, once you raise the level of thinking, you will unleash your inner superpower, destroy all limiting beliefs, and grow faster than you thought was possible. You will start showing up at meetings with way more power and talk with confidence, and your clients and colleagues will start noticing it, that there is something different about you, and you will start earning 70 lakhs to 1 crore rupees income. Once you make this shift, my friend, you will start taking luxury vacations. Please type in the chat, what is your dream luxury vacation? Is it Maldives, Mauritius, Hawaii, whatever, Europe? What is your favorite luxurious holiday, vacation? Please type in the chat box. Where would you like to take your family to? Himalayas, world tour. Let's see what else is coming up. Europe. Thank you, Shilpa, for sharing that. Lovely. Think of all the places you can go, friends, with your family, have the good time with them. Provide education fund for your children. Provide fund your retirement plan. There was a survey done recently, and this is the number one worry for most people, that they don't have enough to for their retirement. Get time to play with your kids and spend time with your loved ones, and be successful without being stressful. S is for success. If you want success without stress, type S. If you would like to be successful without having the stress that comes with success, type S. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you. So you will be successful without having the stress that comes with the success. Friends, I discovered these 7 shifts during the years of my corporate career and being in business, coaching my clients. I saw most of the professionals and business owners are buried in anxiety, panic, and overwhelm. But there were few people who were different. They left their office at 6 p.m. They operated very effectively under stress, became super successful, and grew in their career and business. So I closely observed what these high achievers were doing. I noticed that there is something very different about how these successful people manage their emotions under pressure, how they present themselves, and how they speak what they speak. I realized that these 7 things, these superstars were doing these 7 things. And as I started implementing this, my growth started seeing an immediate impact. And for the last couple of years, I have made it my life's mission to help others achieve the highest level of success in their career without stress. We did a survey in our community in the morning, and a lot of people responded by saying that there is a shortage of good leaders in the corporate world, in the political world, in the business world. So this is the time, friends, to step up and become a trailblazing leader. If you would like to become a trailblazing leader, please type BTL in the chat box. BTL, thank you, thank you, thank you, friends. This is the time to step up and become a trailblazing leader. Let's look at this 7-step process to become unstoppable and invincible. How nice it would be that nobody can stop us irrespective of what happens, and we become a conqueror. And the first step, the first shift, the first habit that we need to develop is developing a champion's mindset. And I would like to draw your attention to this picture from a Bollywood movie. Anybody would like to share which movie is the scene from and what is the actor doing in this movie? Which movie is this scene from and what is Amitabh Bachchan doing? Let's see some more responses. Namak Halal, Sharabi. Okay, Sharabi. Amar Akbar Antani. Shilpa, you get full marks. Okay. This is a scene from Amar Akbar Anthony, my friends. And Amitabh Bachchan is hurt in this movie. And what he is trying to, he's looking at himself in the mirror and is putting the band-aid on the person he's seeing in the mirror. You know, it's very funny, right? We all laugh. This is an iconic scene. You can go and Google and watch this. This is an iconic scene. You know, rather than put band-aid on his cheeks, you know, on his face, he's putting it on the mirror. It looks funny when we see this in the context of a movie, when we see somebody else doing it. But when it comes to us, we are not so conscious of this reality, that the results that are happening in our life, which is what we are seeing outside, are due to the beliefs that we have inside us. And friends, this is the first realization that I would like you to have. Most of the times when the results are not according to our liking, we try and fix the world outside us. The product is not good, my spouse is not good, my parents are not good, the economy is not good, government regulations are useless. We try and fix the world outside us, which is what Amitabh Bachchan is doing. He is putting the band-aid on the person he's seeing in the mirror, but not on himself. But when we start working on the beliefs which are internal to us, which are the operating system of our brain, then we start making paradigm shifts, beliefs which help us achieve the goals that we want to achieve, get the results that we want to get, are empowering beliefs. And those that stop us from getting what we want in our life are limiting beliefs. All of us have limiting beliefs. And this is the time to pause and reflect. What are the limiting beliefs that we may be having, which may be stopping us from getting what we want in our life? And once we start identifying these limiting beliefs and replacing them with empowering beliefs, we make the shift from being a victim to being a victor. When we are in a victim mindset, we tend to think, why me? Or I am not good enough, or this person is not good enough, or that person not good enough. But when we become a victor, when we develop a champion's mindset, we take ownership for what is happening in my life. And those who have a victim mindset just keep blaming people, keep giving excuses, and keep denying, that this is not there, that is not there. And anytime, we hear statements which blame other people or give excuses, it immediately reveals to us, including me, myself, including everybody else, whether I'm in a victim mindset or a victor mindset. As long as I'm working on what is in my circle of control, I am operating with a victor mindset. As long as I'm working with influencing the people around me, and that influence could happen using logic, could happen using emotions, could happen using persuasion, whatever you want to use to influence people outside your immediate circle of control, is also what champions do. Champions also trust that the outcomes will come their way with respect to things which are completely outside their circle of control or circle of influence. Most of the times when things are outside our circle of control and circle of influence, we tend to worry, but champions tend to trust that things will work out their way. So this is the difference between champions, between victims and victors. And what I would urge you to do is pause for a minute and reflect on any problem that you may be facing in your life, in your workplace, or in your personal life, and reflect on one thing that you can do, one thing which is in your control to change the situation, to change the outcomes. So I'll time you. Please spend a minute, pause and reflect on one thing that you can do to improve the outcomes in one area of your life where you may be facing some challenge. I'll also be happy to take any questions or comments you may have regarding this, regarding developing a champion's mindset. Please take this 1 minute and reflect on any limiting belief that you may have. And what is it that you can do to replace that limiting belief with an empowering belief? Look at any situation in your life where the results may not be to your liking. And what is one thing that you can do to impact the result in that area? Friends, I would like to hear if anybody would like to share. Or comment. All the learnings in this session will work for you only when you put them to action. Moving on, we will look at the next habit for creating a outstanding success, becoming a trailblazing leader, which is create a success blueprint. Friends, any house, any building, any office, the first step is in making of any house, office, or building, the first step is to create a blueprint. We imagine everything that will go into making of the house or office. We imagine every corner, every wall, every furniture that will go in. But when it comes to our lives, we often do not take out that much time to imagine the kind of life we want to have. And I would like to share the example of Dhirubhai Ambani, who used to fill petrol at a petrol pump. And while he was filling out the petrol, he used to think that one day I will own the company from where this petrol is coming. And he went on to create Reliance Industries and create one of the largest oil refining corporations in the entire world. That is the power of imagination, my friends. And it is not an isolated example of Dhirubhai Ambani. There are many other business and political leaders who have created amazing amount of success using the power of their imagination. And it is not only business people. Scientists like Albert Einstein says that imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. And he goes on to say that imagination is more important than knowledge. This is, friends, coming from a Nobel laureate who says imagination is more important. How often are we leveraging on our power of imagination? And this is a endowment which only human beings have. The ability to imagine is what human beings have. It's unique to human beings. So I would like to pay attention whether you would like to go with more with intelligence quotient or imagination quotient. We have all been, there is a lot of talk about increasing intelligence quotient, but hardly anyone urges us to imagine. And I would urge you to imagine, take out 1 minute, I will time you, and imagine yours. What is the ideal life going to be for you? What kind of house you would be living in? What kind of office you would be working in? What kind of car you would be driving? It is said that when we imagine anything for more than 68 seconds consecutively, then it sets in motion powerful energy which helps us achieve what we want to achieve, what we are imagining. So please take this 1 minute to imagine the kind of health you would like to have. Most of the times we are imagining what is worst. We are not imagining what is best. So I would like you to imagine the BPO, the best possible outcome that you can have in critical areas of your life, whether it is wealth, health, or happiness, relationships, whatever you would like to imagine. Please take 1 minute to imagine the best possible outcome in any one area of your life. The ideal kind of company you would like to be working in, kind of colleagues you would like to be working in, the kind of house, the kind of health. We have been working on increasing our intelligence quotient. Take this 1 minute to develop your imagination quotient. Which one, Nagananda? And I also like to Einstein. Okay. This one. And I would like to also pause here to hear from you. Any thoughts or comments you have on imagination? Anyway, Nagananda, this recording will be coming to you, so you could take screenshots once you have the recording. Any questions or comments? I would like to hear from you. Thank you, Satyaprakash. How many of you would like to learn the best time management system in the world? How many of you have a challenge in managing time? If you would like, thank you, Shruti, thank you, Satyaprakash. If you would, yeah, thank you. If you would like to learn the best time management system in the world, please type it. Thank you, Shipra. Shipra, you have a question, or you want to learn about the best time management system?
The time management.
Okay, thank you. So, friends, let me share with you the best time management system in the entire world. And this is so amazing. Initially, how I used to manage my time was by making a to-do list, everything that I need to do, and then look at what is topmost priority, and then start doing that. But that was not very effective, and I was spending longer and longer hours in office, working till 8, 9, 10, 11 p.m. And neither my boss nor my wife was happy because I was spending so many hours in office and still not delivering the results that were required. And the breakthrough for me came when I learned this difference between what is urgent and what is important. Friends, urgent is something, as we understand, that requires immediate attention, and it is often based on priorities and expectations of others. So it is urgent because the client wants it, it is urgent because boss wants it, it is urgent because children want it, mother wants it, whatever, it's someone else who wants it to be done, and we are just catering to the expectations of others. Whereas important is something which requires us to be proactive. Important is something which helps me directly in achieving my goals. And what is valuable for me, it's contributing to my mission. And when we focus, when we manage our time, keeping what is important as the centerpiece, then our effectiveness takes quantum leap. And I'm talking about effectiveness, which is not 10% or 100%, is like 1000% plus. And this is the time matrix, time management matrix that's been shared with us by Dr. Stephen Covey in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he goes on to say that the most effective people spend most of their time in activities which are important but not urgent. These are quadrant 2 activities, which are relationship building. It's not by chance that he is saying that relationship building is the #1 quadrant 2 activity. So many of us are so busy that we don't take time to invest in our relationships. And all the good and all the bad in our life comes to us via people. So once we take time in investing in relationships, our effectiveness goes up so much more. There's a very nice African proverb which says that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So investing in relationships is the #1 quadrant 2 activity. Finding new opportunities, doing research. So my starting mindful living was due to the research I did on mindfulness because I had to deliver a lecture at an international conference. So doing research and finding new opportunities is very, very important. Long-term planning, preventive activities, whether it is related to workplace or your own health, whatever else, investing in preventive activities, taking out time for investing in personal growth, which we're going to talk more about, and recreation. Recreation is so important. Most of us in the corporate sector lead a very robotic life, not taking out time to have fun. And, when we are not taking out to have time to have fun, our energy levels go down. So investing in this quadrant 2 activities And you might be wondering where is the time for all of that, and I'll share that with you in a bit, in a couple of minutes from now. And then quadrant one are crisis, pressing problems, deadline driven projects. Quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. Quadrant 4 is the kind of stuff we get so often caught up in without realizing. I pick up a phone to check one WhatsApp message, and then I do, without realizing, and next 1 hour we are on WhatsApp, or on emails or YouTube or whatever else. And there is other quadrant 3 activities that you are all too familiar with. In the advanced workshop that we do, we share with you Excel where you can plot how much time you are spending on each quadrant. And people go to astrologers and palmists to find out, what will be my future like. But I can safely predict your future depending on how much time you are spending in each quadrant. People who are spending more time in quadrant 2 and quadrant 1 are going to have their life move forward. They're going to move forward in their career, health, and happiness. And those who are got caught in quadrant 4 and quadrant 3, their life is going to remain where it is. So be very, very careful on where you are investing your time. Time is capital, and time is the only limited thing we have. If we have shortage of money, we can borrow money. If we, the factors of production are land, labor, capital. Land, you can buy more, labor, you can hire more, capital, you can raise, but time is 24 hours. Elon Musk, Mukesh Ambani, Narendra Modi, you, me, everybody has got 24 hours. So how we spend our time is going to determine how our future is going to be. Time is like capital. And I understand it may not be immediately possible for you to shift entirely to Q2 or 50, 60, 70% time in Q2, but make a decision today that you will take some small steps to move the needle and move to quadrant 2 and quadrant 1. And the strategy for doing that is for quadrant 4, which is not urgent, not important, trivia, time on Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, just drop it. It's not going to add any value to your life. If you can't drop it, start by minimizing it. Quadrant 3, not important, urgent, delegate it. In our advanced workshop, we share a formula which you can use to decide whether this is something that you can delegate or not. Quadrant 1, do it now. It needs to be done. And quadrant 2 is to schedule it. We share a monthly activity schedule, a format which I picked up from one of the CEOs from a very large bank. And he used to have a monthly activity schedule where he would schedule everything which was important for the entire month before he would start giving out time for his regular normal stuff. So anything which is quadrant 2 needs to be scheduled, and time needs to be blocked first thing before when you're starting the month or whatever else. And we are also going to talk about one of the best time management tools that I use, which is Microsoft To Do. If some of you are familiar with this, good. If not, we will share how to use Microsoft To Do tool to create your quadrant 2, quadrant 1 activities, etc. So friends, I'll pause here to see if you have any questions or comments before we move on to the next section. If what I'm sharing with you so far, you're finding it valuable, please type V in that chat box. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, please let it keep coming. Thank you. Thank you. This is valuable for me. Thank you. Your feedback is very valuable. We can pause for one quick question or comment before we move on to the next part of the section, which is on compassionate leadership. Thank you, Dr. Hardeep. Okay, friends.
Hi, Ashish. I have a question about it aside.
Yes.
While we understand that whatever you have just said is really, really valuable and we all want to use it, and that's the easiest way, I guess, because rest all seem to be quite quite difficult. But in my experience, what I've seen is that we tend to start with a rigor, but all these time management skills and time management uh, activities, these workshops. But then why, I want to understand, why do we lose that zeal in between? Every time we start that thinking, यार I can do this, इसमें क्या है, चार्ट ही तो बनाना है, या क्या ही करना है, रोज लिखना है
Yeah,
ना, मैंने इसमें 10 मिनट लगाया था, इसमें
yeah.
1 घंटा लग गया, whatever. Then why, what should we work on that we do not lose that zeal in between?
I'm glad you asked this question, Rupali, and this will resonate with many people. And I'll request you to wait till the end. During the session today, the question will definitely get answered. If it is not, then
Sure.
towards the end I'll answer it. But I promise you it will get answered. And really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you asking that. It's a very good question. So friend,
Thank you.
next one, which is the best form of leadership that we have, compassionate leadership. Anyone would like to work with a boss, colleague, or investor who wears shoes like this? If you would like to work with a person who wears shoes like this, type yes. If you would like to work with a person, if you would not like to work, then type N for no. Why, if you would like to work with a person who wears shoes like this? No. Satya Prakash says no. Manoj says no. Yeah. Rajiv says no. If you would like to work with a person who wears shoes like this, type is cruel. Thank you, Shruti. No. Kaushik says no. Okay. Others are not yet sure. Yes, hardly matters. Okay. So Sandeep says, I don't care. Others have not yet decided. If you are undecided, please type UD. If you know, Hardeep says no. So it looks like it's no for most of you, because we don't want to work with cruel people. But when it comes to compassionate leadership, we think that it is fluffy stuff. It doesn't work. And in this session, we take a 360-degree view on compassionate leadership, on why this is the best form of leadership. And I'd like to share a small story, a true story of Captain William Swenson, who you see in this picture is being awarded, is being given the Medal of Honor, which in the entire history of USA has been given only to 3,500 people. And the story is that Captain William Swenson was leading a small team of his comrades in Afghanistan fighting against the Talibanis. They were going somewhere in the morning when they were attacked by the Talibanis, and there is heavy firing which takes place, and one of his comrades got shot in the neck and he started bleeding. And you have two options. You either run away from there or you go and take your comrade out. Captain William Swenson, the brave person that he is, braving all the shelling, heavy shelling, bombing, he just went in, put the bandage on the neck of his comrade, and called the medical evacuation team. While he was throwing hand grenades on the Talibanis to stall them from coming. And then he successfully evacuated his colleague, comrade Kevin, and managed to run to the helicopter and placed him in the helicopter to be taken away. And then something happened which blew my mind away. And one of the reasons he got this Medal of Honor was because of that. He bent down and gently kissed on the forehead of Kevin. And this got captured in the cameras which were there on the helmets of the medical evacuation team. Friends, one of the reasons why we are not compassionate, and research shows that, is because we are busy. There is so much to do. We don't care for our colleagues. We don't care for our family. But in this life and death situation, Captain William Swenson demonstrated that being compassionate is the best form of leadership. And this is not only from Army. In a book written by Meng, who is ex-Google, who launched the mindfulness program in Google, is the author of the book Search Inside Yourself. He says compassionate leadership is the most effective leadership. We are not only going by what Meng says and what Captain William Swenson demonstrated. Bill George, who is the former CEO of Medtronic, which is a $30 billion company, he says the major transformation takes place when we move from I to we. He doesn't say it, but it's also I is for illness and we is for wellness. When we focus on we, everything happens well. And that is when we unleash the power of the teams and we unleash the power of people to reach their full potential. When we work for compassionate leaders, and I'm sure you all would have had in your careers and your tenures, you work with bosses who are compassionate, and that's when they brought out the best in us. So compassionate leadership is the best form of leadership, and this has also come out in this book which Rasmus Hogard has written along with Jacqueline Carter, where they researched more than 18,000 senior executives, CXO level people from over 100 countries. And they found that the top leaders, all the top leaders have three attributes: mindfulness, self-awareness, and compassion. So compassionate leadership is right up there when it comes to the attributes of top leaders. So in this session, we take a 360-degree view on why this is important. We handle queries on why it works, doesn't work, etc. So I'll move on and to the next part, which is emotional drivers. How many of you would like to increase your influence at workplace or with your family or in your business, wherever you work? If you would like to increase your influence, please type I in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you, friends. And I'll share with you what is it that we can do. How? By tuning in. Thank you everyone. By tuning into our emotions, we can increase our influence. And emotion is derived from a Latin word which is motere, and which means motion. Emotions really propel us to move forward. It's very important for us. I may think, but I may not act, but emotion is something which makes me act. It's listening to the emotions is very vital. They are our internal GPS, and they help us navigate through our life. But we were not taught to process emotions as kids. Nobody taught us in schools how to process your emotions. So sometimes the emotions can be confusing, and that is the reason we don't pay attention to emotions. Because if my heart is pounding, it could be because I'm excited, it could be because I'm nervous, and similarly there are many other emotions which may be confusing. So because we don't understand, we don't pay attention to them. And when we don't understand anything, we are called a fool, but nobody says that I'm an emotional fool or you are an emotional fool. We just go on with life being an emotional fool. And look at this person. He was high IQ, right? He had very high intelligence quotient. He was a doctor studying in one of the best colleges, but he had very low EQ, right? Because how many of you have seen the movie Kabir Singh? And the kind of challenges he had because he could not handle his emotions is the point we're trying to make. When we are able to handle our own emotions, it really helps us perform very well at work. And there is a lot of research which says that 85% of the success at workplace is because of emotional intelligence, and only 15% of the success at workplace is due to the cognitive abilities that we have. So it's very important for us to develop emotional intelligence. And one of the ways which I learned from my coach, Thaddeus Lawrence, is to pay attention to what is happening in my body. I'll request you to take screenshot of this and you can do it later also, but pay attention. These are the questions. I was an emotional fool earlier, and I'm still I'm work in progress. I won't say that I'm like highly emotionally intelligent, but work in progress. And he asked me, when I started out with him, he asked me to answer these 5 questions for myself. And I did that for a period of 1 month, and it was clearly a game changer. Ask yourself what emotion I am feeling and write it down. Don't typewrite it, write it down with pen and paper. What emotions am I feeling or did I feel today? on a scale, how intense was it? If I'm feeling happy, how happy was I? If I'm sad, how sad was I? What brought about that emotion? Was there an external cause, internal cause? What am I learning about myself? And where did in the body? So most of all the emotions we, whether it is anger, happiness, sadness, we feel in our body. So tuning into our body is very, very important. So this is one exercise I would strongly urge you to do to develop your emotional intelligence. And as I shared earlier, there are a lot of I'll request you to
kindly mute yourself.
yeah. And the benefits are many of developing this emotional intelligence. Personal benefits include calmness, clarity, resilience, and happy relationships. And workplace, it is positively correlated with stellar work performance. People with better intelligence, emotional intelligence, are better team players. They're more creative and more productive. And the key to developing the influence at workplace is given to us by Dr. David Rock in his book, Social Brain at Work, where he talks about the SCARF model, uh, which is status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness. And he says that all human behavior is driven by two things: our desire to avoid pain and our desire to have gains. And our desire to avoid pain is so much more than our desire for gain. That is how we have been hardwired through the millions of years of our evolution. Coming to the SCARF model, all of our decisions, most of our decisions are driven by our wanting to improve the status, our status in our lives. So think it in terms of bigger car, bigger house, bigger cubicle, corner cubicle, bigger title, more number of people. We are always wanting more because that status helps us achieve more. It gives us power. And what Dr. David Rock says is the best way to try to improve your status is not by trying to improve it versus others, but versus our own selves, our own capability. If I could do this at this level, can I do this more, better? Think of it in terms of any skills or sports or whatever. So status is one of the major drivers of behavior at workplace. Think of it in terms of being shouted at in workplace. If you shout at someone, you threaten their status, and or if you get shouted as, it threatens our status. So what are the behaviors at workplace? You can take time to reflect on your own, which as a boss or as a subordinate, which you do or to impact the status, your status and other status. The second one is certainty. Our brain gives error message whenever there is uncertainty, and our brain simply can't handle uncertainty. So imagine telling someone that you may lose your job. If you tell the person that you will lose your job, it is better. But that uncertainty that you may lose your job in 1 month, 2 months will completely fuse his brain. And he will not be able to perform at his optimal level. Think of it in terms of the uncertainty of what my boss expects from me, what my senior expects from me. Think of it in terms of uncertainty when a new person joins a company and the job description is not clear. So think of it in terms of family relationships. If the parents, if the children are not clear what their parents want, or the spouse is not clear, what does my husband or wife expect from me? So that's the kind of uncertainty which creates chaos in our brain. So clearer you are in what you expect from each other, you will create environment at your workplace which will be more productive and which in turn will increase your influence. The third one is autonomy. Many people believe that my way or highway is the best way. But when you don't give autonomy to people, they shrink in their stature, they are highly stressed, and their productivity is not optimal. So if you want to improve your influence, improve the productivity at workplace, give people autonomy. And autonomy does not mean abdication. Sometimes people think that if I give autonomy, results will not happen. No, you keep track of it, but give them the freedom to do it their way. The next one is relatedness. And through the years, millions of years of our evolution, We have been wired to believe that everybody who is unknown to us is a foe, and everybody who's known to us is a friend. So think of it in terms of, when you are onboarding new employees, everybody would typically brand them as foe till they get to know you. And it's not too difficult, becoming from a foe to a friend is not very difficult. Just a handshake or a smile is good enough. But our brain typically labels people. Think of it in terms where you are working on a project and your 10 members, 11th member comes in, everybody is branding him as foe. It might have happened to you. You may have done it to some other people unconsciously. And all of this is happening subconsciously. And the last one is fairness. So human beings rate fairness very, very highly. So in your behaviors, be fair. And that's one way to increase your influence. So I'll pause here to see if you have any questions or comments before we move on. Would you like to hear the next one? If you would like to hear the next one, what is the next shift? Please type BIO, bring it on. And we're going to talk about something which is very, very powerful. Thank you, Richard. Let's see. Thank you, Ruchi. Thank you. Yeah, Sandeep, I understand. Thank you, Richard. Friends, if you want to know what is a sixth shift, please type BIO, bring it on in the chat box. I need to see far more responses. So the sixth shift is ego. Normally, we understand ego as a sense of inflated self-esteem. But ego basically means is the story that we tell ourselves. So if I were to say that I am 44 years old or 54 years old, I'm extrovert. These are the labels I put on myself. I live in Gurgaon or Pune, or I'm the CEO, or these are my hobbies. Like that, there are many, many labels we put on us. Basically, this is trying to answer who am I or who are you. So when I used to be working in corporate, I would say I'm VP in this company doing this or that. So how I answer that question, this may appear to be very simple, but when we ask this question to ourselves or to other people, it can lead to very profound movements. It shares with us the story that we create, and that impacts the way we interact with the world. So when I used to be with a company, and so it was a very competitive environment. So because I am with this company XYZ, anybody who is with ABC is a competitor, and becomes an enemy by default. So this ego separates us from other people and can be empowering or disempowering. So the awareness of these labels is very important so that we can create our lives consciously. And starting with something as simple as a name, how much attention do we pay to the name? But there is so much that the name tells me. It tells me my religion, it tells me my region. It may tell me, even if I have a name like Gandhi or Modi, it tells me about the entire lineage. There's so much that a name contains. Or a Ambani or Birla, there's so much that a name. It looks like innocuous, but there is a lot in it. Religion, hobby, age, marital status, whether you're single, married, divorcee, widower, or the sexual orientation, straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and again, everybody who's like me is a friend, and anybody who is different from me is an enemy. This is the subconscious scripting that we have got. So political parties, whether Republican, Democrat, Congress, BJP, the position, the CEO, management trainee, the company, the economic philosophy, whether I'm a capitalist or a socialist. So we've seen, I don't know if you've seen the movie Rocky 4. So there is so much that is happening because, one person is from Russia, another one is from America, caste, so there are multiple labels, and, these labels can create our history. So this one is, I'd like to share a small story with you about Thomas Edison. If you would like to hear the story, please type S in the chat box. How these labels can empower or depower. Thank you, friends. Only 3-4 people want to hear the story. Let's see. Okay. Okay, thank you. So friends, this is a story of the Thomas Alva Edison. He comes back home when he was young, about 4 or 5 years old. He comes back home with a sealed envelope in his hand, which has been given by his teacher to be handed over to his mother. And he comes with a sad look, and he hands over the um, note to his mom. Mom opens it and reads it, and then turns to Edison and says that this note is from your teacher saying that you are a genius, and the school can't teach you because they don't have the resources to teach a child who is such a genius. So I'm going to teach you at home. And she goes on to teach him at home. And Thomas Alva Edison became Thomas Alva Edison, one of the most prolific inventors of our life, with thousands of patents. And one day when his mother passed away, he was clearing his office, and he came across this note. And by now it is open, so he could read it now. And the note says that your son is adult. So the note is to the mother saying that Edison is adult, which means he's confused. He's below average intelligence. And, you take him away from the school. And, Thomas Edison is shocked to see this. So friends, I'd like you to pause and respond in the chat or unmute and speak. What was the label which the teachers of Edison gave Edison, and what was the label which mother of Edison gave Edison? What are the two labels that we're talking about? Unmute and speak or type in the chat. He's dispelled, he's confused, he's unteachable. Yes. Unteachable is one label. What are the other labels? Duffer. So the teacher said he's duffer, and the mother said you are extraordinary intelligent. Okay. So now,
Ashish would like to say anything if you allow.
Yes, please, Satya.
Basically, the first point you have shared with us, that is the most important point over here. That is belief. Mother has given a belief that you can do anything if you want, and that's how he could become successful. Yeah. And that is the only thing anyone, either me or you or anyone, can have. That belief can change your life.
Absolutely, very beautifully shared. So this labels create the belief, whether you're a duffer or you're a genius. So whenever we have a belief, whenever we have that label drives the beliefs and the outcomes in our situation. So be very careful about the labels that we have in our life, and that can make so much of difference to what. So that is about ego and identification and pursuit of excellence. So in different ways, this drives many different outcomes for us. And friends, coming to the final section, how many of you would like to be in an upward spiral where your life keeps getting better and better always? If you would like your life to be an upward spiral, please type US in the chat box. If you would like your life to be getting better and better always, please type US. Thank you, friends. A lot of you would like your life to be in upward spiral. Others are not clear, or you are too lazy to type. Friends, I need responses from everybody if you would like to be your life in upward spiral. So friends, I would like to share the secret with you of taking your life in a constant upward spiral. And the secret is sharpening the axe. And I will share the story of a gentleman who was passing by in a forest, and he sees this woodcutter who is tired, exhausted, and wiping the brow of his face. And he stops and asks him, friend, is everything okay? And the woodcutter points to a patch in the forest and sees, I have to clear this big patch. There are so many trees I need to cut. So the gentleman says, why don't you take some time off, rest, and sharpen your axe? And the woodcutter shouts back, can't you see there is so much that I need to do? Where is the time to pause and sharpen my axe? Friends, when we hear it in form of a story, we may laugh at it, but this is the story of so many of us, that we don't stop to sharpen our axe. And when we take out time to sharpen our axe, the results are miraculous. Abraham Lincoln says that if I were given a tree, if I was given 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend 4 hours sharpening my axe. And that is what all effective leaders, all trailblazing leaders do, spend time in sharpening their axe. And this is one thing that we can do to sharpen our axe. In this book, Becoming a Corporate Athlete, the author says that the competitive environment, the workplace or the business today is very, very competitive, like the athletics. And we need 4 dimensions. We need to sharpen our axe in 4 dimensions to be able to perform. And the first one is physical capacity. And I would like to ask you to take a minute and calculate what is it that you would be earning in the rest of your life. So if you are, say, assuming whatever age you have, and your retirement age is 60 years, if you're say 30 and retirement age is 60, in next 30 years, what will you be earning? Take a minute to calculate that amount. Let me share with you an Excel which I did, and you can all relate to this in your own ways, or you can do this in your for your own self. So I've taken the example of a person whose annual earnings currently is about 10 lakh rupees. And it increases at the rate of, and he's 30 years old, and it increases at the rate of 10% year on year. And then on here, I have plotted his total cumulative earnings. So in first year, he earned 10 lakh, 11 lakhs, then total is 21 lakhs. So in 10 years time, his income goes up from 10 lakhs to 24 lakhs, and he earns a total of 159 lakhs. Can you guess how much would be his yearly earnings when he turns 60, and what would be the total amount he would have earned? So if he's earning 10 lakhs a year, in 30 years, he would have normally earned 3 crores, right? 10 lakhs into 30. But if there's an increment of 10% year on year, then how much can that earning go up to? And what is the total he would have earned? I did this calculation, and I would urge you to take out time and do it for yourself. In 30 years, by the time he turns 60, his annual income would have gone up to 27 crores per annum, and his lifetime earnings would be 303 crores. Okay, that's the kind of impact happens when we continue to grow year on year. And one of the things that we need to do is to invest in our physical capability. Only when we are in a top physical state, will we be able to accomplish that earning. The second thing that the author talks about is having a emotional capacity or the emotional intelligence to be able to support the peak performance. Third is the cognitive abilities, the mental capacity, which is focus, time management, positive and critical thinking skills that we talked about earlier. And the last one is spiritual capacity. A lot of people tend to confuse spirituality with religion, but we're not talking about religion here. Spirituality means connecting with your higher purpose, clarifying your values, and clarifying the intention with which what you're doing, the action that you're taking. So once we have the alignment of these 4 dimensions, our life continuously gets to keep getting better. And there's a lovely quote from Benjamin Barber where he says that I divide the world into learners and not learners. So friends, we'll pause here and I'd like you to take 1 or 2 minutes to reflect on whatever we have discussed so far and share with us what have been your key takeaways from the session, becoming a trailblazing leader so far? Please take 2 minutes. I will time you to reflect on everything that we have shared so far. And then quickly share with us what has been your takeaway. And if you have any questions to ask, this is also a good time. If you would like to clarify anything or ask any question. Thank you, Sandeep. Happy to hear that. Friends, please going to the next level in our lives. Thank you. Please share your comments with everyone so that everyone can benefit from that. 1 more minute. So friends, I have shared with you now everything that I wanted to share. Yeah, Sandeep, I hear you. I understand. Yes, thank you. So Satya Prakash, that's a very valid thing. And this is something which was asked earlier also. How do we implement it? So friends, the next part of the session is for those who want to go deeper into learning and implementing these learnings. So if you would like to go deeper into learning how to implement these 7 shifts, then please type deep dive into the chat box and we will take you, I'll share my program with you where you can deep dive into and implement these learnings. But if you are happy with what you have learned so far, it's okay. You could leave the session because the next 20 odd minutes is for those who want to deep dive and take their life to the next level. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Ruchi. Thank you, Vipin. Okay, friends. So with your permission, I am sharing with you how we can deep dive into this situation. So now you have a choice either to take your life to the next level and you want to move forward at 10 kilometers an hour or 100 kilometers an hour. And friends, that answer is very important because that will decide the vehicle you want to travel in. If you want to travel at 10 kilometers an hour, this vehicle is good enough. But if you want to go forward at 100 kilometers an hour, you need to invest in becoming a trailblazing leader program that I have put together basis my years of research. And think about the money you are losing. I shared that compounding with you, the impact it has. A 10% year-on-year increase in your income can take you to humongous levels of income. And you need a new mindset, which this program will equip you with. And this is the right time to do it. The job scenario in India is bright. Economic outlook is bright. Times of India is saying this. Deloitte is saying this. And there is Korn Ferry report which says that there is leadership shortage at the top. 70%. They've done a survey in more than 1,000 companies, and 70% of the organizations say, the HR in those organizations says that we feel that there's going to be a shortage at the top levels in leading our organizations forward. And there is not enough that the companies are doing to develop the talent pipeline. And that is why it becomes very important to take the initiative and invest in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. This comes from Warren Buffett, who is one of the top 10 richest people in the world with a net worth of more than $100 billion. And he started out by selling newspaper as a 10-year-old, and he used to earn that income and invest in stock markets. And today is worth more than $100 billion. So friends, investing in learning pays humongous dividends. It has got infinite ROI. So when you come into this program, you will learn how to develop a champion's mindset and become a true leader. Many leaders I speak to, they have a challenge that people don't listen to me. My team doesn't follow me. So in this session, you learn to take charge and lead yourself and lead your teams, creating a success blueprint. We discussed, what is it that you would like your life and career to be like. Master the time management. There are Excel sheets that we share with you. There are time management tools that we share with you, which you can use to implement. A lot of you were sharing about challenges you have in making these shifts, and that is where these tools come in handy. How to become a more compassionate leader, case studies, how to increase your influence, how to identify the limiting labels that you have and replace them with empowering ones, how to sharpen your X, how much time to spend, how to find that time to sharpen your X in the physical context, your physical health, your mental capabilities, your emotional intelligence, and your spiritual quotient. That is what it is. And we don't leave you with that. We work on a capstone and action plan, which you can then commit to living. And when it comes to investing in a program, be assured that any investment in the right program will pay for itself many times over in just a few months. And when you're choosing someone to work with, choose someone who has got the same level of experience and is committed, is passionate about helping others achieve the same. I have handled millions. I have handled businesses which are like $100 million, handled large teams with which are like 800 people. So I have handled very large businesses. And this program, I have put together all my learnings, all my research of over 30 years. And this is the third batch we are launching. The satisfaction rate from the previous two batches is 93%. People rate this becoming a Trailblazing Leader program as an extremely valuable use of their time. These are some testimonials that we have got that, we are implementing, becoming a better version, and, the group support that is there. And that is something which helps you implement these learnings. Shalini says, valuable lessons. Gunjan says that these are insightful sessions. I've learned, and the insights are readily implementable. And, so many positive feedbacks. Once you invest in this program, you will be able to create a retirement fund for yourself, create a fund for your children's education, kind of financial freedom it will provide you. And what is the investment that you need to make in this is what we come to now. And if I have your permission, I'll share the program details. What is the investment of time that you need to make? And what is the investment of money that you need to make? So if I have your permission, please type P to share the details of the program, the dates, the amount of time we need. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Ruchi. Thank you, Satyaprakash. Friends, if you're serious about taking your life to the next level, please stay on. The rest of the session is for action takers. So this program is divided into 8 sessions. Total investment, time investment is 12 hours. The sessions are scheduled on 3rd, 6th, 10th, and 13th November. And then you get a 2-week break to practice what you have learned. And we resume on 1st, 4th, 8th, and 11th December. The timings on weekdays are 8:15 to 9:45 p.m. and on Sundays from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Total time investment is 12 hours. And the fees is $4,999 if you want to come in for a particular session, or if you want to attend all the 8 sessions, it's $9,999. And if you want to have a coaching session as well, it is $14,999. But friends, I'm very happy to share with you that we have got a special offer for you, which is for action takers and those who commit to take action now. This silver program is for $4,999, no discount, but in the gold program, I include one coaching session, which takes the value of the program to 46,992 rupees, and you get a massive discount of 36,000 odd rupees, and you pay only 9,999. So you get 8 sessions plus one coaching session. And in the platinum program, you get 8 sessions plus one session on executive presence, which will be taken by my friend Deepan Vaishnav, who was earlier the head of learning and development at Tata Motors on executive presence. Those who are looking at growing in their career and businesses, who want to become true leaders, need to develop an executive presence. It is what my friend Deepan calls the X factor. When you are with people, people just notice you. So I have requested him, and he's consented to take one session on executive presence, on developing executive presence. This one session itself is worth 50,000 rupees. And I have included 5 one-to-one coaching sessions, which will help you implement these learnings. These are individual sessions which will help you implement these learnings into your daily lives. So total value of this package is 1,19,992 rupees, and I'm offering a massive 87% discount. So you pay only 14,999 rupees and you can enroll for the session. And you don't even need to pay 14,999 today. You could just pay 4,999 rupees and block your seat in this program, in this awesome program, which delivers massive value. And you could pay 4,999 today by using Google Pay or Paytm to Ruchi at these numbers. You can take a screenshot of these numbers. We are also sharing these details in the chat for your reference. So pay 4,999 and block your seat, and the balance you can pay in next 1 month. And all these sessions will be live. These are not pre-recorded sessions. This is a leadership program. So the sessions are live. There'll be interaction. There'll be so much learning from sharing from each other. I'm an internationally certified trainer, so I understand the principles, best principles in adult learning, and I have made participant workbook, case studies, assignments, exercises, decision-making tools, handouts, and links to the reference material, which will all ensure that your learning is par excellence, that you not only learn, but implement what you're learning, decision-making tools, and you will get a certificate of completion, which you can share on your LinkedIn profiles. And some questions that we often get from participants is, what if I have a calendar conflict and I miss one of the sessions? Friends, if you miss one of the sessions, the recording will be shared with you. All our sessions are recorded and the recordings are shared with the participants. Some people ask me, when will the next workshop be? And my answer to them is, sometimes there is no next time. Take this call now for the sake of your career, for the sake of your business. We have another 4 or 5 months remaining before the financial year ends. So invest in your career, invest in your business development. Sometimes it happens that we sign up for a program only to find later that this is not something that works for me. And friends, in that case, I assure you, it's my promise on record that your money will be given back to you. No questions asked. 100% money refund once you decide to walk out of the program. So we just got a request to share the details of the program once again, friends. So yes, the dates, Ruchi, could you please share the dates once again in the chat?
Yes.
The program contains 8 sessions, 1 session, bonus session on executive presence, 5 individual one-to-one coaching sessions that will help you implement the learnings. Total value of the program is 1,19,992 rupees. You get a massive 87.5% discount, and the total fees is 14,999. Today, special offer for today, you reserve your seat by paying 4,999, and the balance you can pay in next 1 month. It is our mission to make the world a better place to live in. And that is the reason we conduct these programs. We also support Majha Ghar Foundation. Part of the proceeds of the program go in supporting Majha Ghar Foundation, which is the largest organization taking care of destitutes in Maharashtra. This is our bid to make the world a better place. Somebody requested us for the details, so we are sharing the details for the Google Pay. Once you have remitted the payment, please share in the chat so that we can formally welcome you. And this is the compound effect that I was talking about a little earlier. Small, smart choices made consistently over a period of time can radically take your life to a different level, whether it is in the relationship and whether it's in the area of relationships, financial prosperity, health, happiness, success. Small things done consistently over a period of time lead to massive changes in our life. And friends, I'm happy to share with you that there is an extra bonus for those who take an action and join the program, which is becoming a part of the Trailblazers community. And in this community, we invite trailblazing leaders to share their insights with you. Some of our recent speakers have been Kushal Agrawal, who's featured on the top left. He scaled up his organization from 2 crores to 2,000 crores in last 10 years. And he came and shared with us his insights on growing business. On your right, top right, is Mr. Rajiv Agrawal, who is the founder of the Majagar Foundation. And previously, he was the CEO of an organization called Delons, which he helped to scale up from 8 crores to 450 crores in 17 years. On the bottom right is Dheeraj Dolwani. He's the CEO of B2R Technologies. He runs a BPO based out of Uttarakhand. And the work he's doing is so awesome that he has been featured in the Harvard Business School case study. On the bottom left is Apurva Purohit, who is on the board of Marico, L&T, Mindtree, Naveen Fluorine, and he talked about women empowerment and some of the best practices in leadership. So this is the community that you become a part of, and regularly interacting with people like this helps us develop those qualities, imbibe those qualities. And so this program is not merely a 8-session program. It's a lifelong, you become a part of this community, which is a lifelong, where we support each other in a constant learning and development endeavor. So is achieving high position while increasing personal and family well-being is your priority number 1, then go ahead and book your seat in this program, friends. If you are somebody who is that committed to giving sincere efforts, then this program is for you. You should believe in yourself that you will be able to pull this off for yourself. If you believe in yourself, then go ahead and sign up for this. It's a limited period offer. This offer of 4,999 to reserve your seat is only for today. And we are going to take very few participants. This is a leadership masterclass. We are not going to have large number of people, only few seats will be there. So to ensure that you get the personal attention that you deserve to make it to the next level, to make that shift. But this program works for you only if you are committed to take the action. All the participants in the previous batches took the action and took the benefit. Sharing these details with you one last time, friends, to make sure that you have the right information to take the action that you need to take the life of yourself, your career, your business, your family to the next level. You may reserve your seat by paying 4,999 rupees on these numbers. And in case you wish to make a bank transfer because you're from out of India, you could use these details and make a bank transfer. We have a separate US dollar pricing, and we'll be happy to share with you in case you're interested. So I'll pause here to see if you have any questions or comments, and welcome you to the program. Manoj, Preeti, Shashi, Nagananda, Rajiv, Kamal, any questions or comments? Happy to take from you. Thank you, Manoj. Welcome to the program. Really appreciate your joining the program. So friends, we recently had Diwali, and this is a good time to invest in yourself and take your life and career and business shoot up like rocket. And I would like to formally close this session by sharing this Chinese proverb that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So please take this chance to plant, to invest in your learning and development and take your life to the next level. Thank you very much for taking out time and joining us today. If you're watching this recording, please be aware that this offer is limited period offer. Please connect with Ruchi, and you can have the details. Yes. I'll share my number. We will share the number along with the recording so that if you have any queries, you can connect with my team or me. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend.